Good.
There's a very clear difference between my imagination and dreams, creating um, thoughts, imagining things, fantasizing. And this is a shot or a video or whatever that's just thrown into my face. The gross feelings that I always felt, and the fear and the loneliness and the helplessness, I those same feelings that I have felt throughout my life were the feelings that I had in those memories that were coming, being thrown at me. That was the same feelings that I had. And so it just all of a sudden all made sense, why I would feel those things outside of being afraid, or outside of being, I was safe, and I'd still have those feelings in my body. And when I had the flashbacks, it was so clear that those were the same feelings I felt then. I've had many, many therapists over my life since I was 9, because I had terrible anxiety and depression. And my most recent therapist I've been with for 7 years, and she never suggested that this happened to me. She just cared for me. We talked a lot about shame for years. We started brain spotting because I would have these viscerally deep feelings of fear and shame, and in situations that I was safe in. And so we started brain spotting and doing internal family systems work. And that was when I began to connect to those parts, those small parts of myself, and show them the care and parent them in the way that they needed, when I didn't have that. And when I had the first flashback, my therapist, her first words were, "I've been waiting for you to remember." And I was shocked when she said that, because it wasn't something that I thought about it when I was younger. Um, I would, what if that happened to me and I don't remember? And I would just push it out of my mind. There were lots of things that made me think of it, but she just immediately believed me. When we would brain spot, she didn't say anything. She would just help me listen to my body and just notice the feelings, and my mind, it would just unlock, all of these feelings and all of these things and situations, and that were connected to feelings I was having now, fears and sadness. And um
And can you explain what brain spotting is in case someone watching it doesn't know?
yeah. So I'm not very good with the scientific part of it, but the the brain and the eyes are very connected. And so you basically, you find the a place in your view that you feel that feeling of discomfort the most strongly. And so it took some practice, but my stomach would be tense and all week or months or whatever. And so she would have me find the spot, the brain spot, where that feeling felt the most intense. And then we would just sit, I would just notice the feeling and sit in it for a minute, which we don't do very often. I would just notice it, and memories would start to pop up, like all kinds of memories from different situations. And usually it was the most young situation, and it would have been something connected to a thing that happened at school or with my parent, and I would realize that that part of myself was still feeling that feel, they were still felt like they were there, and so then that's the only time she helps, is she would, if I didn't know what to tell the part, she would encourage me, what would you tell your child right now if they were this scared? And I'd tell, I'd comfort, I'm so sorry, I'm here for you, you're not alone, I see your pain, and I would give them the tools that they didn't have, to strengthen themselves. And Um, and so I always call it rescue. I would rescue them and give those parts, and then with the neurofeedback, seeing that my brain literally has not been able to move trauma to the past because of the frozen frontal lobe damage. That's really what was happening, was I was just staying in these trauma loops, feeling these feelings that I felt as a child. So I've had to go in one by one and literally deal with their feelings, in that moment. Um, and they show me what happened, and it's things I have not thought about in years and years. And it's very clear the feeling that I had all these years was connected to that time. It's fascinating and devastating at the same time. I remembered my father touching, fondling in the bathtub. They were, um, it was always in the bathroom where no one else could see. I was 41 or 42. It was in the 2020, right after COVID hit.
And then when did your mother die?
My mom died in 2022. It took me a few weeks to tell her, but when I did, um, I knew right away that she didn't know. She wasn't surprised because she knew the type of person that he was, um, and how he viewed us as possessions. But she was devastated. Um, she, where her words were that she wanted to crush his fingers. She felt so guilty that she didn't know. And she recalled what I said, that she was just always at work. She had to work so much. And um, she was devastated that she wasn't there to protect me from him.
How are you feeling?
I felt good. I don't get to share it very often outside of therapy.
Uh-huh.
It makes people uncomfortable. And, but I have felt like I was exploding. I need to be heard, like, and so it feels good.